Alright guys, what is going on? I realized in the last video I didn't even go over what I'm running on the car. So it is a CX Racing single ball bearing turbo, 0.63 AR and a 0.6 AR compressor side. We have a 4-inch intake leading into that turbo. Well, actually we should just call it a 3-inch because we have the 3-inch MAF housing. We're running a custom pre-turbo water methanol injection system that I made myself. Kind of ghetto, I know. We do have another tank that we're going to put on, something that is similar to what is on the Audi actually, same exact thing. So a little aluminum tank that'll sit nice and look really nice over there. We have 2.5-inch intercooler piping leading to a 4-inch core intercooler. It has 3-inch inlet and 3-inch outlet. We just have reducers going from 2.5 to 3 to 2.5 back here. And then we do go down to a 2-inch bend right here just so we can get around the battery clean without making contact to that. And then back to 2.5-inch into a stock throttle body and then into our USRT intake manifold. So that is basic setup. The car is running with forged JE pistons, Eagle rods, Tectonics tuning, 276 camshaft. It is the wide lobe, 114 degree cam for turbo and boosted applications. And we do have an OBX Racing adjustable cam gear chilling right there. We have it currently set at 2 degrees. The timing is retarded 2 degrees because the cam does have a little bit of advance built into it. And yeah, so this setup is running through stock ECU. We have a C2 Motorsports Stage 2 tune. We're about 300 horsepower with the C2 Motorsports. I do eventually want to go and check out United Motorsports. Supposedly it's a little bit better through United Motorsports. Everyone says their tuning's just a little bit better. So at one point I do want to try out that tune for the car, but I also do want to go with a standalone ECU at some point, get like a Mega Squirt or something on this car, because it should be able to make around 500 horsepower max. Now it's pretty safe at this power level with the components that are inside the engine, so that's a good thing. But anyway, so in the last video I said that we were going to check the spark plug, so I pulled out the spark plug puller tool, the boot pulling tool. So we'll go down here if I can get to it. It's always a nightmare to get in there. Okay, so got to do this because ask me how I know. I've already pulled some of these wires out of the boots, so that's not fun. We are running Genesis plug wires. They work pretty good. You can get them on USRT or usually Sideways Rally Team on their website. Ooh, just gotta be careful pulling these things out because we'll end up breaking something. Alright, nice. Those ones are all out. Alright. Boom. Okay, so last one's out. So we can go ahead, pull these guys all off, set them off to the side, pull them out of their little bracket there. We'll just set them, drape them over the engine, get them out of the way. And then we've got our 5/8 spark plug tool. I'm going to use the impact just to break them loose. That is safe. Don't use an impact to put spark plugs in though. Don't ever do that. Alright guys, so we've got the old plugs out. As you can see, they don't look terrible. They're definitely rich because off-the-shelf tune. That's just how they do that stuff. Everything looks pretty even. The wear is even. So each of these ones we're checking out with the 30 thousandths feeler gauge going into all four of these. So it definitely expanded the gap just a little bit. Over time it does that. It eats away at the plug every time it sparks or ignites. Some of the metal does kind of wear away over time, and with the VP Octanium, that's what's giving it kind of that orange tint. So not too worried about that. But yeah, so the plug gap is definitely a little bit bigger than I would want. I gapped the new plugs at 25 thousandths of an inch instead of the 30. And I didn't want to go as small as 22 thousandths because that is actually just really small. If we go over here and look at 25 thousandths versus 30 thousandths, we'll put it on this right here so you can see the gap is quite a bit smaller. Kind of hard to see on, you can do it on a black surface for that one, but yeah, it is quite a big difference, 25 thousandths to the 30 thousandths that it grew up to. So yeah, we should be fine at 25 thousandths. Should alleviate our little breakup issue at high RPMs, and should be back rolling. Alright, so we're going to get the new plugs. We will go ahead and gently drop them down here. Of course, I don't have the spark plug like rubber socket holder for the actual socket, so just gently put it in where it sits. And I did some research online, and they are getting kind of oil fouled. Those like crumbs on the actual spark plug itself. It is called oil fouling, so that's kind of what's happening. We will tighten them down, and then we will torque them at 21 foot-pounds. I knew it was going to happen to one of them. Of course, we're going to drop it. Tighten them by hand. Make sure we're not cross-threading, ruining the threads. Get it snug down. Alright, so we've got our torque wrench sitting at 22 foot-pounds. It's always scary because they have that crush washer on them, so it feels wrong, but okay. Alright guys, so spark plugs are in and torqued. I've got the old one sitting here. So I think a big part of it is they start to oil foul. And that could be because either oil is coming up from the pistons, from the rings not sealing properly, or it could be valve stem seals, or the little breather system that I had in there. It could be just sucking oil straight from here, straight into the intake manifold, and just subtly leaking oil into the engine. Either way, we'll probably have to just keep an eye on spark plugs from now on. I've been pretty good about it lately, but definitely just gotta keep that on my regular maintenance schedule. So we'll be changing spark plugs probably every other oil change on this thing just to make sure it's running at tip-top shape. Hopefully it doesn't do any weird spark blowout stuff now and pull super hard. But these things were pretty trashed, and at 30 thousandths, there's no wonder why it was starting to break up at above 15 psi of boost. So yeah, easy fix. Alright guys, so we are out driving the car around, getting some heat in the motor. Everything feels smooth so far with the new spark plugs and all of that. Yeah, not really much to it yet. Haven't really got on it yet, but it does feel a lot smoother, a little bit more responsive throttle wise. And yeah, I'm just gonna get some heat in the motor and then we can try and do a pull. Shit. Because I'm holding you guys with the camera in my freaking left hand. Let go of the steering wheel to shift with the other hand because I wasn't expecting it to fucking pull that hard. Dude, we almost just wrecked. It torque steered. Oh my god. So that was the problem. We're fixed. Jesus freak. This thing's kind of fast. It's crazy how much of a difference that just made, because the car was like downright slow. So that pull that we were doing in the last video, I swear that was me like 3/4 throttle, and the car just felt real slow. It was pulling, it felt like it was pulling a bunch of timing, like bad. And then it started to break up on top of that, like, so that's slow. Dude. Wow. Oh my god. So anyway guys, I am headed home. I'm freaking tired. It's like 12 o'clock. We'll pick this up tomorrow and we'll do some more pulls and testing tomorrow, but Saturday night, I'm dead.